Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of VAFA Tragics 6 rounds down. We're a third of the way into the season and we've got Big V to talk about. We've got William Buck Premier section, Premier B. We've got some great guests tonight. Sam Williams from Salle is going to join us. We're looking forward to having a chat to him. Lucy Lechich will talk women's. And Nick Armistead will talk everything VAFA. Good evening to you.
Thank you, Andrew. Great to be here. I look forward to talking with Sam. They got a really important win on the weekend, Salle, 91 against St Bede's. So it'd be good to find out where they're at just at the moment.
And don't forget for the divisions. I know we don't touch on the divisions as much as we probably should, but the big questions will be out there featuring a few division sides. So stick around for them at the end of the show and some more great use of social media coming up as well. What was your highlight from the weekend?
Lockie Dornoff.
Yep.
Now, we obviously had him here 3 weeks ago.
It's unlike you to choose someone that's been on the panel or anything like that.
I know, I do have a tendency for that sort of thing, but the audacity of the man knows no bounds whatsoever. Now, you may have seen a highlight on the VAFA Facebook page on the weekend. Uni Blacks 4 minutes into the fourth quarter, up by just 15 points. And at this stage, up by 15 points against another top 4 team in Caulfield, you think, do the simple things right, Lenny. Do the simple things right. Dornoff is lining up from 40 out here on an angle, mind you, the wrong angle for a right footer. Decides to play on, make the angle worse for the right footer, but slots the goal. I mean, let's be honest.
I just like the voice in the background of the video go, oh, don't tell me. No way. No way. just love that as well. Love any of that sort of showboating stuff we love on the Tragics. But just a bit of an update on Dim Sim Gate. I know Heath O'Loughlin, the media manager from North Melbourne, he put up a tweet on the weekend, Burgergate. Now, obviously, the price of food at football grounds around the country is a concern to all of us food lovers and football lovers, but don't jump on our bandwagon, Heath, because it is Dim Sim Gate that has gained the traction of the fans, and we've got reports out of Old Scotch on the weekend that they're selling South Melbourne dimmies for $2 as well, so well done to them.
Yeah, but then I heard that their pies and cokes were overpriced, so, you know.
Swings and roundabouts, we can only tackle one hurdle at a time, and this hurdle at the moment is Dim Sim's driving the prices down. Right, William Buck Premier, probably the big result out of there was the 2 undefeated sides, St Kevin's and Old Brighton going at it. Old Brighton have been so good this year until they ran into the might of Scobs.
Correct. Now, this was always going to be Old Brighton's biggest test, coming in undefeated, but it was Scob who ran out 83-point winners on the weekend, and they had 14 goals to 1 at 3/4 time. Now, it didn't help that Brighton had 1 goal 11.
So arguably they could have been in it.
They could have been within 5 or 6 goals perhaps, and maybe a sniff, because we do know that they have been running over sides. But Scob really flexed their muscles and proved that they are still the team to beat. Them and Collegians are probably the 2 favourites. Definitely the 2 favourites still in William Buck.
We might have a look at some of the other games when Sam Williams joins us. Great to see Dealer having a big win. They beat St Bede's Mentone Tigers. But swinging into Premier B, some tighter games this week. That average margin is coming down. Not for Old Carey though. They beat Old Halebarians by 75 at Carey's home ground. Uni Blacks beat Caulfield, as you mentioned, just by 14 points. So the fields are coming.
The fields are certainly coming, and they're probably the team outside of the 4 previous William Buck teams that have come down the past couple of years that are going to threaten for the top 4 this year. They were 4th, they've fallen out to 5th following the loss, but they're going to give a couple of teams in that top 4 a fright this season. Concerns
still continue for Monash Blues though. They played Parkdale Vultures, which would have been seen as an opportunity for the Blues to get on the scoreboard. They went down by 69 points at the Jerry Green.
Yeah, things aren't getting easy for the Blues. Parkdale Vultures, led by Charlie Dillon, kicked 6 goals. So great stuff for Parkdale, who got their 2nd win for the year.
In Premier C, the Royals continued on their merry way, defeating Marsland by 42 points at the Brunswick Street Oval. Lots of love for this club, Fitzroy. They do, speaking of good social media work, that it's not just their club that do the work, it's fans of Fitzroy that go down there and are regularly tweeting about and posting about
conductors.
The Royals. Yeah, there's a lot of love for what the Royals are doing. Ogs had a big win over Peninsula at Como. The Pirates are struggling.
They are. Now, coming down from Premier B, you would have thought the Pirates possibly were a top 4 fancy. They've now lost 5 of their first 6 games, 3 of them being at home, so things aren't getting easier when they're on Peninsula school ground. So, worrying signs for Peninsula, a third of the way into the season.
Further worrying signs still for St Mary's Salesian, who've obviously come up. They've had consecutive 140-plus point losses, which is not great for them.
But they have played 2 genuinely strong sides in the past 2 weeks, and that's what I'm looking forward to, at least for this weekend for Premier C. Williamstown coming up against Fitzroy at Brunswick Street Oval.
Right, stick around. I hope you've enjoyed that first segment. We're going to talk with Sam Williams from Salle right after this.
Anytime is the right time to get fit at Anytime Fitness. Access over 400 gyms across the country 24/7 and discover why more Australians train at Anytime Fitness than any other gym. Go online and register now for your free 7-day pass and feel something better.
Welcome back to the Tragics. I mentioned before the break we're going to have our special guest, and he joins us now, Sam Williams from DSL. Welcome to the panel. Welcome to the desk. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Nick, for having me.
That's great.
Feel better after a win?
Yes, definitely. A lot of relief off the shoulders after getting that win. I mean, 3 weeks in a row we had our pants pulled down, really, and especially after the round 1 loss as well. So it was really good to get the 4 points back and at least get some percentage back also.
How would you describe your form? You've come into the season having played in a semi-final last year. How would you describe your form after the expectations come into this year?
Yeah, look, we've been pretty disappointed with the way we've started the year so far. Collegians really served it up to us round 1, and we were happy with our response in round 2 against Savs. But since then, we've really sort of fallen apart. Whether it's been a quarter or a full half, we've sort of just haven't been able to pull full quarters together at all. And not in my time have we sort of consistently been beaten, sort of by 7 or 8 goals 3 weeks in a row. So. Yeah, we're certainly really looking to turn things around.
You've got a history of being able to turn things around as a club. We were speaking before we came on air about that year you won 11 in a row in the back half of the year. So what is it going to take for the rest of the year for you guys to make a charge towards that top 4? Yeah,
look, I think we've just been trying to find the right mix up until now. We've had a pretty big influx of young kids join the group, so whether that's been the under-19 group who've been really strong in the past. We've probably had about a dozen of those guys come up and they're playing senior footy, either 1s or 2s. And then an influx of VFL listed blokes as well. So it's probably been up until now just trying to find, the right mix of 22. And the guys that came in on the weekend, so we had, Matty Colac, Lukey Williams, Geordie Bull as well. So those boys have sort of certainly come in and really earned their spot. So I think we need to settle the side, and then from this point forward, really string a bit of momentum together and get some wins.
Now, it has been a disappointing start to the season, as you said, but what about someone like Liam Murphy, a young gun? What does he bring to the side? How exciting is he?
Yeah, look, Banger slipped in straight away, midpoint of the season last year, straight in from the 19s, and really hasn't missed a beat since. So, Banger's probably just a ready-made, senior footy player, straight in there, and his attack on the ball, he's got a really good head on him in terms of his skills and just his composure, coming out of the back line, and now he's sort of graduated and gone into the midfield. So,
is he a lock? Is he a lock for the Rising Star Award?
Is he a lock? I'd be pretty confident putting my money on him at this stage, for sure.
Rep squad announced you're in the mix again. You've played for the Big V on a number of occasions. Just tell us through why you love coming back and doing that and being part of that group every year.
Yeah, look, I suppose it's always a really good opportunity just to represent D-LAR as a footy club and make sure that we've always got a few blokes in there representing the club. But at the same time, the games are always high intensity, and I suppose you always really want to, sort of take your game to the next level, and playing in those games is always, that opportunity. And I suppose the post-game celebrations are always good if you get the win, and whether it's interstate or local, it's good fun.
What has been the highlight of 7 rep games, the Tour of Ireland? What are your Big V highlights?
I'd say definitely the Tour of Ireland. So getting that opportunity to go over there, it was a really good mix of guys. So we had Robbo as coach on that tour, and I suppose a few notables was the Rippo, the McGovern boys. There was a young lad from the Peninsula team by the name of
Stewie Grigg or Harry. Yeah.
Well, Griggy and Whitty, who offered a lot of flavour to the to the trip. So, but all in all, I think we had 17 or 18, and I think Sammy Confey and Burjo was on that trip as well. They joined in. But yeah, look, that was certainly a highlight of, I suppose, my VAFA career.
Your other footy career, you spent a bit of time at Collingwood. Just take us through that experience, what that was like to go and have a couple of years there and then come back to DLR.
Yeah, look, the Pies was an interesting time. I got down there through Brett Eddy, actually, originally. And DLR had a few guys sort of training there at the time, Ty Hunton, Mark Collins, and a few boys since. Jake's been down there, Indy, Puck's had a run around. So it's sort of been a good little opportunity for, a lot of our club boys just to, improve on their own game. And we benefit from it as well. You get a full VFL pre-season in, but it's certainly
on a personal front. Was it stressful? Is it enjoyable? Is it what's
it was
like?
it was certainly enjoyable at the time. So I was still at uni at the time, and sort of loved. I was 3 days a week. Sort of thinking that you were probably better than you actually were, and getting in amongst the sort of semi AFL routine of. The training and the program that they actually put in place, and I suppose just being in that sort of environment, was a real benefit and real highlights.
Can you tell us about the culture down at DLR? Now, one of my favourite things to do after a DLR win is to troll through Instagram, because I know that I'm more than likely going to see you, Tommy Humphrey, Huey Nitcho, a few of the boys sitting in the rooms, boots off, with a VB can in hand or a Carlton draft. So can you tell us about the culture of growing up with, coming through DLR with those boys?
Yeah, definitely. I suppose I think you were saying earlier what type of beer is on offer after the game is probably dependent on how much Damien Shields wants to dig into his pocket on the day. But look, I mean, getting a win at home is always a real highlight. So coming in there, and I know Pucky likes to create a bit of a bit of a vibe with the Instagram stories and that sort of thing. So as whoever it is at the time, whether it's three Williams boys or Indy and Puck and a couple of others, just for the likes, really.
You played 163 games, so you've never played a reserves game?
No.
So
I probably shouldn't mention it, but I will. And Gotchi was very similar up until a couple of weeks ago. And that's one of Sam Haslam's greatest, I suppose, football highlights is the day Gotchi got dropped.
But so everyone might play a game in the twos one day.
Yeah, definitely. No, body's going that way, mate. But our depth at the club's been really good this year. So, the twos are flying, the threes are flying. There's actually blokes, missing out on games. So just that overall depth across the club has certainly increased from last year. I mean, we're really battling in the twos last year. So, twos are undefeated, threes are undefeated, and I suppose that's just putting pressure on the firsts and who gets a game.
Good luck for the rest of the year. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys.
It's been good to talk some DLR self footy with you. Coming after the break, we'll be back with Lucy Lechich talking VAFA Women's. Back in a moment.
Anytime is the right time to get fit at Anytime Fitness. Access over 400 gyms across the country 24/7 and discover why more Australians train at Anytime Fitness than any other gym. Go online and register now for your free 7-day pass and feel something better.
Welcome back to the Tragics. Time now to talk VAFA Women's Football. Lucy Lechich joins us as she does every week. How are you, Luce?
Great, thank you. How are you?
Can I call you Luce?
Yeah, of course you can. Endearing
I
nickname.
haven't done that before.
Surely we're at the loose stage.
I think,
Yeah, we're 6 rounds in. We can do it.
Very good stuff. Halfway next week, but Big V squad came out this week. So, yeah, we've had a fair bit of the season to see 80 names or so come out in the squad.
I know, such an extensive number of girls chosen, and credit to those girls. They've had such a great season thus far, and it will be really tough to narrow down the squad, with training coming up this week and the next few weeks. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone goes.
13 of the 22 from last year are in the squad. Nick, some of the other highlights in terms of VFL listed girls, take us through those as well.
Yeah, obviously we know that we've got 40 girls that are VFL listed that are playing in the VAFA at the moment. So it's great to see a lot of those names in there. I know Luce will take us through what it means to qualify for the VFL girls.
Yeah, what actually needs to happen? So these VFL girls have been named, but can they actually play in the side?
Girls in the VFL on a VFLW list, they have to have played at least one home game, and they have to have played only maximum 4 VFLW games. So that enables them to qualify for the VAFA squad.
So a couple of names there from last year. I guess that immediately you look at their form so far in VFLW, like Kate McQueen and Grace Buchan. Irina Meliaris is not in this initial squad, but could be added. I understand, Nick. Is that right?
Yeah. So Irina wasn't put in the initial squad purely because she hadn't played a home game for Caulfield, because she played for Essendon VFLW. But now that she has played that home game for Caulfield, we can bring her into the squad.
And when we say home games, we mean like a game at their VAFA club.
With the VFA, with the
doesn't have to be wearing the dark shorts or the non-white shorts.
Correct. So, but players like Kate McQueen and Grace Buchan, they're every chance to not qualify purely based on how they're playing at VFL level and the fact that they'll play more than 4 VFL games.
Right, Lucy, give us your 5 definites. You've got 80 to choose from. Give me 5 names that are definitely going to... We'll try and whittle them down each week. Who's 5 that are definitely going to be in the side?
Well, thus far, based on form, I honestly believe Erin Goggoley for Fitzroy ACU. She is one of the most consistent performers for the season so far. She gets 20+ touches every week. Close between Taylor Padfield and Imogen Barnett. So,
it's a ruck.
Yeah, Marcelin and Old Trinity respectively. So that'll be a tight call, but they're both well in contention. Danny Kalorti for Q. She is unbelievable. Ex-soccer superstar for Perth Glory, and she'll definitely make it in my opinion. Ruby Grounds, Melbourne Uni. She's had a great season thus far also. And a bit of a smoky, but Puli Gardioism for Old Haileybury. She gets multiple bags of goals each week, so I think she deserves it also.
Well, we look forward to seeing how it all happens. We'll see if those 5 names are in the final 22, see if we can get us another 5 names next week. I'm looking forward to your half-year report next week as well.
No worries, thank you.
We'll catch you again next week. Lucy, stick around. Best use of social media, best worst case scenario, and of course, the big questions are coming up after this.
Anytime is the right time to get fit at Anytime Fitness. Access over 400 gyms across the country 24/7 and discover why more Australians train at Anytime Fitness than any other gym. Go online and register now for your free 7-day pass and feel something better.
Welcome back to the Tragics. It's time for the fun stuff, or we'll start with some serious stuff first before we get into the fun stuff. Let's start with the quick questions. Focusing on the divisions this week, Nick, should White Fries be worried about their loss to UHSVU?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I think it was 14 points on the weekend, but they did give up a 22-point halftime lead. They should not be worried about it, though, because I think Bren's Oval is the untold fortress of the VAFA. Now, UHSVU over the past 2 years have lost only 3 games there by an average of 4 points, but they've 9 that they've won have been by an average of over 60. So it's extremely difficult to win at Brands, and UHSVU lost to Parade there 2 weeks ago, so odds were against them.
It's amazing that their losing margin averages 4 points in the last 2 years.
Unbelievable. It's incredible. Andrew, Brunswick Football Club face Ivanhoe with both teams winless, and they both have a percentage under 40. Who wins this weekend?
Yeah, well, it's an important game for both clubs, obviously, but I feel like it's Ivanhoe's turn to shine, and I'm basing that purely off results from last week. The Hoes went down by just 16 to Q, whilst unfortunately Brunswick got rolled by 85 to Ormond. So going to go for the Hoes to have a win. They also wear black and white, which is a good thing. Rightio. Has Hawthorn announced itself as a genuine contender in Division 3 in 2018?
100% they have. They've entered 3rd spot following a 58-point win against Richmond Central, who were 2nd or 3rd on the ladder leading into the weekend. 18 goals to 4 in the 1st, 3rd and 4th quarter. Hawthorn came down from Division 2 last year. They've picked up a lot of players, and their only losses have been to Glen Eira and Canterbury, who were 1 and 2 on the ladder. So I think Hawthorn can certainly take out Division 3 this season.
Very good.
Would Ely Park Sharks, Andrew, be more intimidating with a tougher logo?
This is an undoubted yes from me. Take a look at the logo. It just I reckon they need to get on the phone to Old Trinity, who does the graphics down at Old Trinity, and just say, look, can you do us a more aggressive-looking shark?
Surely tidy that up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Might not change everything, but it'll change a few things. I'll look
doesn't
a bit
instill
more fierce.
fear into
No, it
the
doesn't.
opposition.
Best use of social media. Let's get straight into that. Nick, where are you going? Where are you taking us this week? Which club has tickled your fancy?
Well, for the first time ever, Andrew, a club has received 2 nominations for the best use of social media, because I'm going back to Parkdale Vultures for Roaming Maloney. Now, Roaming Brian, which was made famous by Brian Taylor, has seen some really good segments over the past couple of years, and I think we can all agree it hit its peak at last year's Women's Presentation Night. And if you don't remember that, let's have a quick recap of that. Swimmer, so what are we? Freestyle, butterfly that nobody really watches butterfly, backstroke maybe?
Open water, so out in the ocean, swimming several kilometres at a time.
So you're getting a bit toey out here at Albert Lake then?
A little bit.
and so how was your year? How would you rate your years from the start?
I am not the person you should be talking to. I actually didn't play this year. So...
That's all right. We like to talk to everyone. Okay. Now, I was talking to Grace off camera earlier, and she was saying that even though she played one less game than Irina, she still took out the best and fairest.
I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about.
As we move along now, as you can see, everyone's enjoying themselves here texting. Who have we got here?
Bethany from... Oh, where am I from?
I don't know.
It's a big question. It just takes a lot of effort. Yarra Valley.
Lastly, do you watch the VAFA Tragics?
I do, yes.
And who is your favourite panellist?
Well,
Awkward silence.
Brendan Mann.
His name's Brenton, so that's how much he likes him. Thanks for joining us, Cam.
Thanks, mate.
Now, as you can see, Andrew, I didn't think it could get any better than that. But Dan Maloney, Roaming Maloney, has come along at Parkdale, and some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen from a club. Let's look at what he's provided while being injured for Parkdale.
Get your game face on. G'day guys, welcome down here to Roaming Banani, the first and probably last segment. This is the coveted carcass. It's going to be Parkdale versus Old Carey today at 2 o'clock. So we'll get started on a bit of a roam. How are we going, Mary? Very good. The best chips in the VAFA, can you confirm?
Yeah, but we've got no chips this year.
All right, we'll cut that later. We'll start with the X, Papa. Welcome to Roaming Banani. You're having a bit of this later. How did you prepare last night?
Last night?
Yeah.
Watch the footy, that's about it.
Yeah? Gonna kick any snags today?
No.
What's with the nickname the X?
You told me, Dan. You gave it to me.
All right. Anyone the ones that are missing today?
You.
We'll move on. Morgs, what were you doing there, mate?
Yeah, not a heap.
Not a heap?
Yeah.
What's going on today? Apparently you're not playing?
Yeah, just to put up this sore in the calf, mate, yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah, just pulled up sore. So.
All right, so what's going on?
Just pulling up sore, I suppose.
Thanks, boys. Shit, thanks for that.
And congratulations to Dan Maloney and to Parkdale for getting best use of social media. Fantastic stuff.
It's great stuff. I'm going to Instagram and the page Kempy Can't Mark. It's one of my favourites. I think it's probably the sort of thing that we're looking for on this segment. It's just a series of photos of Kempy being unable to mark, and I really like it. I like some of the shots that you're seeing flicking through there. I think more of this. I think bring out so-and-so can't kick. So-and-so's dim sims are too high. No, I'm joking about the dim sims, but I think this is the sort of stuff we want to see. Just a few more videos I think would be great. Just
the fact that there are enough photos to create an Instagram page of one bloke dropping the ball is incredible.
Well, the problem is, I don't know if he's dropping everything that's coming his way, but it certainly looks that way. Rightio, best worst case scenario. Let's finish off the week. Nick, where are you going with your best case scenario?
Best case, Fitzroy and Williamstown. CYMS, who played this week, play out a close one because, as we know, they're by far and away the two strongest sides in Premier C at the moment. So it would not be great to see one side like Williamstown or Fitzroy blow the other away, make it a one-horse race for the remainder of the season. So hopefully that's a close one.
Very good. I'm going best case scenario. It's happening in Premier B this week. We've got 1 versus 4. We've got 5 versus 6. We've got 7 versus 8. 9 versus 10. And we've got 2 versus 3. So it's pretty much everyone hustling for positions. This is make or break, particularly for some of those bottom sides. Monash Blues hosting Old Haileyburyans. I mean, that is a big game for Monash. Hopefully they can get the win. That is the best case. Yeah, best case scenario. All the teams that need a win get a win. So the ones below, they all win. That's what we want.
Love it.
Worst case?
South Mornington versus South Melbourne Districts in Division 4 plays out exactly like we probably think it will. South Melbourne are absolutely flying at the moment. South Mornington have just the one win from last week. And South Melbourne will probably go into that heavy favourites. But hopefully South Mornington can kick at least 10 goals. That is my best case for that worst case.
Best case for me is St Mary's Solution bounce back and have a win against Old Ivanhoe at the postage stamp, and they get the win. I forgot the name of their ground. Ferndale Park. Thank you very much. So St Mary's Solution, we're back on you this week against the other hoes, Old Ivanhoe. A lot of hoes going around. Rightio. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Join us again next week on The Tragics.